let's make hibachi at home. First, I grabbed my groceries. I did 1 onion, 1 stalk of green onion, 1 carrot, about 1 pound of rice, which is 1 bag of rice. You want to cook your rice the day before so that it's cold. I made my garlic butter. I got 2 chicken breasts, 1 center cut fillet of salmon and shrimp, zucchini, squash, and butter and garlic. So let's roll. Let me tell you exactly how I made it. I diced my 1 onion and my green onions first. Go ahead and make sure you chop those up really well, nice size as I did here, and set aside. I did not use the white part. I only used the green part of the scallion. And then I got my grater out and I grated up 1 carrot. I also skinned the carrot first before I grated it up. You can do that or not, but that's what I like to do. I use the big side of the grater. Unfortunately, you can't see the top of this video from the angle, but you can definitely see me grating the carrot here. So go ahead and get your veggies all the way prepped. We're going to prep everything before we start cooking because, as you know, we're going to cook at a high temperature. Here's the 2 chicken breasts that I grabbed. I just cleaned them, removing the fat and cleaning them well. I soak my chicken in lemon and vinegar before I handle it, and then go ahead and clean it before I handle it at all. And as you see, I also use a different cutting board before working with the meat from the veggies, simply because I left those veggies on that cutting board. But you could just wash it off and put your veggies in a bowl. That would work well too. You see me here trimming my chicken breast, and then I split them in half. So 2 chicken breasts turned into 4 halves. And then before I start to season it, I go ahead and give it another rinse after it's been properly cleaned in citrus and vinegar. So I went to my sink and rinsed it off again, and then I seasoned my chicken with my soul seasoning. You can click the link in the bio and get that, or you can just use salt and pepper or whatever kind of seasonings you like. But my soul seasoning and garlic lemon pepper goes well with everything. So I added a little bit of olive oil and massaged my chicken breasts and put them in a bowl. Here I have about 1/2 pound of shrimp. I peeled the vein and cleaned my shrimp and deshelled it. I also removed the tail. You can leave the tail on if you like, but we rather not all of that fuss. I used my Cajun blend and my garlic lemon pepper, gave that a mix. And these shrimp, I didn't need to cut them in half. I just left them that size. They were bite-sized pieces once they cooked down. I grabbed 1 center cut piece fillet of salmon. I removed the skin, and then as you see, I just chopped this up into bite-sized pieces. So you can chop yours just like this. Never mind my dog barking while I'm working, but carrying on. So go ahead and dice your salmon fillet up. You can do bigger pieces or you can just leave it whole, but I diced it up because, again, we're making this meal stretch, okay? And since it's so many different components, as you see, here's my salmon and my shrimp, and this meal will feed for a family of 4. So next I grabbed 1 zucchini and 1 piece of squash, and then I cut this up. Make sure you clean your vegetables as well. However you clean yours, I normally use this veggie wash spray and just water and clean it well. Or you can, another good way I learned to clean vegetables is to do salt, but that's how I clean my fruit. So the veggie wash works well for me. So you're going to go ahead and just dice these up or chop your veggies however you like. But this is how I chopped mine. I cut it into 3 slices and sections. And then I also got this in a bowl. I used regular sea salt, black pepper, and I used a Kinder's buttery garlic blend that I have. So go ahead and do that. Go ahead and chop that before we start the cooking process. Okay, next you can use a pan, you can use a big skillet, whatever you want to use, but I have a wok that put on medium high heat. For some reason, it did not record me adding in those vegetables, but in that wok, it is my onion, my green onion, and my carrots, and I sauteed those down until they were translucent. Then I scooped them to the side and added in 1 teaspoon of butter and 3 beat eggs. I kind of just used like a pushover and fold and fluff method, the same way I would cook scrambled eggs. I seasoned this with salt and pepper and just cooked those until they were done. This is where you want to make sure that your eggs are nice and fluffy and finished and cooked. And then move those out of the way and add a little bit more oil to your wok. For a wok to operate properly, you need that oil. So I moved it to the side and then I added in about 1 teaspoon of olive oil and my cold cooked rice, day-old rice. And that's about 1 bag of rice. And then just break it all up and get it all together, get it all incorporated really well. I seasoned this with garlic, salt, and pepper and mixed it all up. And then I also added in about a tablespoon, maybe a tablespoon and a half of soy sauce. Okay, so mix, mix, mix. Make sure it's fully incorporated. We're still on medium high. We're just working that wok. You also want to prepare your garlic butter before you start the process. I used one small tub of Land O'Lakes spreadable butter in canola oil and 1 stick of Land O'Lakes unsalted butter. I added in about a tablespoon of minced garlic and a teaspoon of garlic paste and some parsley and mixed it well, put it in a bowl so that I had it ready for my rice, my vegetables, and my proteins. So once you get it all the way fully incorporated, you can go ahead and add your seasonings and your soy sauce at this point once you find that it's completely mixed. As you see, it gets really heavy, so I had to switch my cooking utensil to a wooden spoon. So it's probably best if you go ahead and start off using a wooden spoon. Mix your seasonings in well and then mix in your soy sauce. Make sure you break that rice up because you are starting with cold rice. So just make sure it's nice and broke up and incorporated so that each bite is perfectly seasoned. Hibachi at home is so easy, y'all. This is literally, you're gonna spend $5 on the rice completely. Like, we pay a lot in restaurants, but a bag of rice, 1 onion, one stalk of green onion, and 1 carrot is literally less than $5. And look how much it makes. So when you go ahead and say, I'm cooking spaghetti because it's low price, once you buy all that sauce and all that other stuff, you may as well go ahead and make hibachi and make that family happy, y'all. So once the rice is cooking, you just mix and mix and mix. If you would like to add protein, you can add protein to your rice, whatever kind you like, chicken, shrimp. If you want to add some smaller pieces, I did cook about 3 tenderloins of chicken, like, you know, the chicken tenders, about 3 tenderloins. I chopped those up and seasoned them and added them to my rice. And you see I added about that much butter. But again, your butter preference is optional on how much you want to add. This is how much I added, and this is how much we like. Normally, I cook my chicken first before doing my veggies and my wok, but I had totally forgot about the small diced pieces of chicken to add in the rice. So I just went ahead and cooked that in a separate pan real quick in oil and salt, pepper, and garlic, and then added it to my rice and mixed it up. You can do without it since you're going to add so much to it, but again, we're just used to it this way, so this is how we do it. So do it this way if you like. Next, I grabbed my Presto griddle and I added some oil to it. I turned it all the way up to about 400, and then I added all of my protein. You see I added my chicken first, and then I added my salmon and my shrimp. It all fit. I guess it would depend on how much you're making, or a Blackstone could be used, or you can go ahead and just simply put it right into a pan on the stove. Either way, just go ahead and cook this at a high heat. And again, this is just a good method. I like using my griddle because I can just fit it all on there at one time. It's not really any big deal. You can use a skillet, a pan, whatever, however you would like to cook your protein. But here's how I did mine. It kind of just all goes in fast and it's easy to do. I seared it until, of course, you know, the shrimp will be done first. So once I got a good color on one side, I cooked those for about probably 2 minutes, if that. And you see, then I just went ahead and flipped them. Next, I flipped my salmon. I deglazed my shrimp and my salmon with lemon juice, and then some of that garlic butter for both. And then I just removed them from the griddle as they were done, removing the chicken last. Next, I added some broccoli crowns to my griddle. I started those first before my other veggies because, you know, broccoli would take a little bit longer to cook than the zucchini and squash. So I just mixed that all around my griddle to get up some of those flavors that was already there. And here's that zucchini and squash that I had already previously seasoned with salt, pepper, and buttery garlic blend. And then I just cooked that down. Oh my God, y'all, this was smelling so good at this point. I added some garlic butter and mixed those veggies all in until they were perfectly cooked. Do not overcook your zucchini and squash because it will get limp real quick, and it's nothing fun about limp. And once that's completely cooked, you are ready to plate. But first, before I added my diced chicken, I forgot I had cut up the chicken and then added it back to the griddle simply just to give it a quick toss. And guess what? You know it, garlic butter. So I added my garlic butter to the chicken and a little squeeze of lemon before removing it. You can add sauces now. If you know, different hibachi restaurants serve different sauces. I did make a hot chili sauce, and I made a teriyaki sauce. That's not in the video, but if you want to make you a teriyaki sauce, simply just get some garlic, butter, soy sauce, brown sugar, and heat it in a pot. And then I used another sauce. I did like a Diablo sauce. I did garlic chili crunch oil and butter and a little bit of soy sauce. And those are my two sauces. Or you can just buy store-bought sauce. A lot of people like Yum Yum. A lot of people like ginger sauce. Whatever sauce you like. My aunt, she rather to have hers just like this with no sauce at all because the flavors were perfect. Now, you know, over on my YouTube, I don't edit my voiceovers in any way. Since we're watching me cook it through, I simply just do my audio through as if I'm talking to you guys because we're cooking together. I grabbed my plate and just loaded that rice up. It was so good and fluffy, y'all. So tasty. I loaded it up. Now you can plate yours like how we know Benihana would do with the bowl, or just go ahead and load it up how you like. I added in some of that salmon first, some shrimp, and then chicken, and then a good heaping amount of vegetables because we love veggies. I love veggies. My husband, he doesn't like veggies, so he didn't get any. And then I added some sesame seeds to the top.